apparently will be there's talk of a group of 5 college football playoff. Now, Northern Illinois Athletic Director Sean Fraser is among some of the group of 5 officials, if you want to call them, that are in favor of adding a playoff for exclusively for the group of 5. Now, for some, it's a pretty cool idea. For some others, really, it becomes too unrealistic. He said, quote, "It's time to have a realistic conversation about creating a playoff for the group of 5. Why not? It's been 32 years since a group of 5 members won the national championship. That was BYU back in 1984. And in the first 3 years of the college football playoff, a group of 5 team has never ranked higher than number 13, which was Memphis back in 2015 in the initial rankings. So they really haven't got a whole lot of love. And this is where I find the problem, though. He says there's absolutely no ability for us, teams in a group of 5, to be in the national championship conversation. That's just reality. Anyone that says we can is a flat-out lie. Now, the group of 5, in case you don't know, it consists of the American Conference, Conference USA, Mid-American Conference, the Mountain West, and the Sun Belt, including Independence and BYU, Army, and UMass. Here's the problem. You make a group of 5 playoff, even if you call it a national championship, it starts to not mean as much as what we'll see later on in the bigger national championship, the Power 5 national championship. Even if you separate it and call it that, it doesn't make the meaning of the group of 5 playoff championship any much more valuable than the actual national championship. We'll see it differently. So what's the point of having a group of 5 playoff? I understand he wants more of a chance to get in, and that's where, instead of making this effort of a group of 5 playoff, you continue to push forward with a 6 or 8 team playoff overall. That way you guarantee a spot for a few, maybe a couple of group of 5 members to get in. Because we've seen Western Michigan this year was the only, them and Alabama were the only 2 undefeated teams. And obviously Western Michigan, it's hard to rank them because they were ranked number 15, but their only non-league wins at Power 5 opponents were Northwestern and Illinois. Northwestern had a pretty good bowl game against Pittsburgh this past week. That's fine. They were 6-6. They ended up 7-6 now. Illinois, it's not too much. They're rebuilding over there. They've got some issues. Not big wins. And then we saw Houston earlier, who we thought would be a favorite to make the playoffs based on their schedule and how everything lined up, as long as they beat, of course, Oklahoma, which happened, and then they fell apart. Now, NBC, CBS, and ESPN, they all have interest, of course, in televising a group of 5 playoff because it means more money. That's all that matters to them. And, it's just, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. There's already a few other commissioners from the group of 5 conference, or from the members of the group of 5, that are not in favor of this. They believe they actually have a shot at the national championship, which it does bring up a discussion, whether do they really have a shot. I think so. Schools like Houston, like we just talked about, they legitimately had a shot at the national championship, at the college football playoff, had they finished their job, had they won those 2 games that they lost, or in 3 games that they lost. So I believe they still have a shot. It's a little bit tougher sometimes. It kind of feels like they need 2 years. As we saw of Houston's first year, didn't really talk about them making the playoffs. Same thing for Western Michigan. There's no serious talk that they're going to make the playoffs. They were behind 6 Power 5 teams with 3 losses and 1 Power 5 team with 4 losses. There's no serious conversation for them. It seems like they're going to have to build somewhat of a reputation of multiple years, and then saying, okay, look, they've only lost 2 games in the past 2-3 years, which I know is very difficult, and obviously it's a crazy thing to ask a team to do just to be in consideration. But it's where the group of 5 are really at. So I don't believe they should be pushing for a group of 5 playoff. I think they should be pushing for an expansion of our college football playoff that we have right now. Make it 6 teams, make it 8 teams, whatever they ended up going with. That way you guarantee a spot for a group of 5 playoff member and then move forward from there. Tweet me at Short Sports Show and let me know what you think. Should there be a group of 5 college football playoff?